According to Miami-Dade prosecutor Marshall Dory Lewis, says, quote, "There's no doubt there was a failure. The idea that they were aware of it and could do nothing is absurd. We can't let this happen again." Not only did the FBI refuse to act on 2 strong tips, one of which involved the shooter posting on the internet that he planned to become a professional school shooter, which is illegal. That's a terrorist threat. The Palm Beach Sheriff's Office was told the shooter had put a gun to others' heads in the past. The Florida Department of Children and Families ruled him stable despite clear evidence of self-harm. And at the school where the shooter killed 17 people, they knew he was cutting himself, threatening students, and taking pictures with guns, and that he may have ingested gasoline in an attempt to commit suicide. And nothing was done about any of these things. They did have the legal authority to go in and arrest him. They had the legal authority to ensure that he did not have weapons. They did not do any of those things. They dropped the ball. They really blew it. Now, there's some rumors out there, and we'll see if they're substantiated. Sarah Rumpf over at Red State has a long piece about it. It is obvious that the sheriffs of Broward County have been attempting to minimize the number of arrests that take place on campus. The reports that the shooter was expelled from the school are not true. He was actually allowed to remain in the school. And there are a lot of questions being asked today about whether the determination to end the so-called school-to-prison pipeline allowed the police to let this guy off the hook. That basically they didn't want to be part of that school-to-prison pipeline, so instead they let an incipient school shooter run around on the loose with guns, which would just be devastating. We'll see if there's more information that comes out about that. Even if a case couldn't have been made, the arrest should have happened. The teen might have been placed squarely on the radar of police analysts, and then anytime anything else came up, there would be more action taken by the police. Another prosecutor named Priovalis, according to Miami Herald, says at the very least, the most capable intelligence detectives should have been monitoring him. The sheriff has said that the BSO's handling of tips is under internal investigation. He says, "I don't know that the signs were missed." He said, "This isn't science fiction. We're not allowed to arrest on what a person thinks about on pre-crimes." But this wasn't a matter of pre-crimes. There are reports of this shooter threatening other students. That is cyber stalking under the law in the state of Florida. There's pictures of this student online brandishing guns and talking about being a school shooter. These are crimes in the state of Florida. And there have been other people who have been arrested for similar stuff. Miami-Dade schools police on Friday arrested Crop High senior Sean Mesa for posting photos of himself with guns on social media. Improper display of a firearm is a misdemeanor in Florida. That's not the only case that is like that. There's another arrest that was made in 2016 of somebody who is involved in very similar behavior. There was a Miami-Dade Police Homeland Security Bureau arrest of a guy named Enrique Dominguez, who was posting apparently disturbing images of himself dressed like the Joker with combat-style knives. And his coworkers report he pledged allegiance to Allah, showed them ISIS execution videos, and vowed to dress like the Joker before gunning down coworkers. They went and arrested him. Why couldn't that have applied here? The answer is it could have applied here, but something happened at the sheriff's office, and they didn't do their job.